In the expansive reaches of the Andromeda galaxy, on the verdant planet Virion, stood a majestic palace made of bioluminescent stone that shimmered under the twin suns. This was the royal home of Princess Lisara, celebrated across the galaxy for her unique gift, the power to manipulate the elements. Her abilities could coax plants from seeds in seconds and summon water from the air, phenomena that both amazed and intimidated her people. Lisara was the only child of Queen Mirala, a wise but weary ruler whose reign had seen the rise of numerous factions within the court, each vying for power. As Lisara's powers grew, so did the fears that she might become a tool for those seeking control rather than a leader. When Lisara turned 16, a secret council among the rival factions decided that her growing abilities posed too great a threat to the fragile balance of power. Late one evening, under the guise of a meteor shower celebration, the palace was thrown into chaos by a sudden coup. Trusted guards hurried Lisara away from the festivities, whispering of danger and betrayal. With little time to understand her fate, Lisara was taken to the royal hangar where an escape pod awaited her. "This is to keep you safe, Highness," her chief protector, Siran, explained hurriedly, his face shadowed by regret. "We must send you away if only to ensure your survival and the future of Virion." Tears streaked down Lisara's cheeks as she was strapped into the pod. Her heart pounded with fear and confusion, her thoughts a whirlwind of unanswered questions and the faces of her friends and family she might never see again. As the pod's door sealed, Siran added, "Trust in your strength, Princess. Remember who you are, no matter where you find yourself." With a heavy heart, he initiated the launch sequence. The pod shot through the atmosphere, leaving behind the only home Lisara had ever known. Tears streaked down Lisara's cheeks as she was strapped into the pod. Her heart pounded with fear and confusion, her thoughts a whirlwind of unanswered questions and the faces of her friends and family she might never see again. As the pod's door sealed, Siran added, "Trust in your strength, Princess. Remember who you are, no matter where you find yourself." With a heavy heart, he initiated the launch sequence. The pod shot through the atmosphere, leaving behind the only home Lisara had ever known. As the planet grew smaller behind her, Lisara's fears slowly gave way to a numbing resignation. Hours turned into days as the pod drifted further into space, carried by currents that Siran had hoped would lead her to sanctuary. But fate had other plans. The pod's trajectory had been sabotaged, rerouting it from its intended safe haven to somewhere far more remote and desolate. After what felt like an eternity suspended between the stars, the navigation system signaled an impending landing. The destination was unknown to Lisara, indicated only by coordinates that led to an uncharted world, Earth. With a violent crash, the pod tore through Earth's atmosphere, landing in the remote icy expanses of Siberia. The impact was severe, systems failed, lights flickered out, and silence enveloped the pod. Lisara lay unconscious, her fate now left to the whims of an alien planet she knew nothing about. As the sun rose over the snowy landscape, its rays fell on the metal husk of the pod. A strange foreign object in the quiet wilderness. It would not be long before the planet's own inhabitants discovered it. However, it was not humans who found her first but a curious and intrepid Siberian Husky named Max, whose loyalty and bravery would soon forge a bond across worlds. In the dense forest of Siberia, the cold winds whispered through the trees, creating a symphony of nature among the towering pines. Max, a spirited Siberian Husky with striking blue eyes, roamed freely, having recently escaped the confines of his home. Max was on a quest for adventure, his senses attuned to the mysteries of the wilderness. On this day, however, something unusual caught his attention, a strange metallic scent mingling with the crisp winter air. Intrigued, Max trotted through the snow, his paws crunching softly as he followed the scent to its source. As he approached, he spotted a large smoldering object half buried in the snow, its surface glinting under the weak sunlight. It was unlike anything he had ever seen. Cautiously, Max circled the object, sniffing and pawing at it. Suddenly, a faint sound emanated from within, capturing his attention. With a few determined nudges, he managed to open a hatch, revealing the interior. There, lying motionless, was Lisara, her luminous skin and silvery hair shimmering even in the dim light. Max approached her with curiosity, his instincts sensing that this being needed help. He nudged her gently, and after a few tense moments, Lisara stirred, her eyes fluttering open to meet Max's. Fear and confusion clouded her gaze, but Max's calm demeanor reassured her. Recognizing his intent to help, she slowly sat up, wincing from the crash's impact. The connection between them was immediate and profound, transcending the barriers of species and language. Max's tail wagged encouragingly, and he nudged her again, motioning for her to follow him. With little choice and a newfound hope sparked by her unexpected companion, Lisara gathered her strength and followed Max through the snow-laden forest. The journey was challenging. Lisara, weakened and unfamiliar with the terrain, stumbled often, but Max remained by her side, guiding her with unwavering loyalty. Eventually, they reached an old abandoned cabin nestled among the trees, a refuge Max had discovered during his wanderings. Inside, the cabin was dusty and bare, but it provided much-needed shelter from the biting cold. Max, ever resourceful, led Lisara to a corner where he had already gathered some remnants of a forgotten life, a tattered blanket, some dry wood, and even a few old tins of food. Together, they managed to start a fire, its warmth a welcome relief. As the flames crackled, Lisara took in her surroundings, her mind racing with thoughts of her home and the uncertainty of her future. Yet in this moment, she felt an unexpected sense of solace. Max lay beside her, his presence a comforting reminder that she was not alone in this strange new world. Days turned into weeks, and a routine emerged. Lisara, with Max's help, began to adapt to her new environment. She used her elemental abilities to conjure small bursts of warmth and coax plants to grow, though the cold climate posed a challenge. Max, ever the hunter, brought her small game and showed her the edible plants of the forest. Together, they formed an unbreakable bond, learning from one another. Max taught Lisara the ways of the forest, while she marveled at his intelligence and resilience. They communicated through gestures and an almost telepathic understanding, each day deepening their connection. One afternoon, while exploring a nearby clearing, they encountered a group of researchers from a distant city, conducting a study of the region's flora and fauna. Startled, Lisara prepared to defend herself, her hands crackling with elemental energy. But Max, sensing her tension, approached the researchers with a friendly demeanor, wagging his tail and diffusing the situation. Intrigued by the unusual pair, the researchers cautiously approached, their initial surprise giving way to curiosity. Through a mix of gestures and broken communication, Lisara explained her story, revealing her origins and the circumstances that brought her to Earth. The researchers, captivated by her tale and abilities, offered their assistance. Though hesitant at first, Lisara sensed their sincerity. With Max by her side, she felt a growing sense of hope. These new allies might hold the key to her return home, and together they could bridge the gap between two worlds. As she looked at Max, she knew that their journey was only beginning. And whatever lay ahead, they would face it together. As Lisara settled into her new life on Earth, her connection with Max deepened. Each day brought new challenges and discoveries. Max, with his boundless energy and keen instincts, was the perfect guide in this unfamiliar world, leading her through the dense Siberian forest and teaching her the ways of survival. Lisara, in turn, shared her elemental abilities with Max. She demonstrated how she could coax water from the air to quench their thirst and summon small bursts of fire for warmth. Although her powers were weaker on Earth, the bond between her and the planet's elements grew stronger each day. More effectively, blending her knowledge with the planet's unique properties, she became a guardian of the forest, using her powers to protect and nurture the environment. Max remained her steadfast companion, his loyalty unwavering. Together, they ventured further into the wilderness, discovering hidden waterfalls, ancient trees, and creatures that seemed to recognize Lisara as a kindred spirit. The bond between them was more than just that of a girl and her dog, it was a partnership forged through trust, love, and a shared purpose. As the seasons changed, so did Lisara. She grew stronger, more confident in her abilities and her place on Earth. She knew that her journey was far from over, but with Max by her side, she was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Their adventure had only just begun, and together, they would explore the wonders of both their worlds, bridging the gap between the stars and the Earth.